Leaders in the beginning of the 50s built and developed today's Europe. My party, 30 years ago, in the time of the tectonic changes on the European continent, in the time of the fall of the Berlin Wall, also had a unique leader. Our first president, Franjo Tuđman, who with the strong support of the Croatian people managed to realize the goal of our nation, and that is to have a free and independent state, that is to have a democracy, that is to have a freedom. This was indeed a major achievement. And this Sunday, 30 years later, the Croatian Democratic Union will once again convincingly win in the European elections in Croatia and thus bring a strong contribution to the relative majority of the European People's Party in the future composition of the European Parliament. Dear friends, you can count on us. This will be our joint victory, a victory that will ensure a peaceful, safe and prosperous future for Europe. If we are to prevail over the many challenges we are facing, we need a strong European People's Party. We also need common European messages to communicate our values, especially on our identity, on our Christian roots, on our individual responsibility and the readiness of each and every one of us to do good for our community, to do good for our nations, to do good for our countries, and to do good for our Europe. This is what the EPP stands for. Our programs resonate with Europeans because we understand their concerns and their needs on economy, on the standard of living, and on solidarity. And therefore, my friends, I know that Manfred not only listens to the will and the voice of the people, but he also has a plan for all our nations and all our peoples. This is why the EPP and all of us on the national level have prepared programs which will deal on giving the answers, on strengthening entrepreneurship, on better social responsibility, of reinforcing our youth, on creating new jobs, on conceiving a well-balanced life and work, because we are the people and the party that respects one of our main values, and this is the value of our families, our friends. We also hear that our citizens want internal and external security. And my friends, knowing Manfred in the European Parliament for 3 years, I know that he will deliver on migration, preventing the illegal migration, and preventing smugglers from taking advantage of those people who are in peril and jeopardy. We all know that today's Europe is confronted with a key political battle. Battle between those who are serious, who are sober, who are rational, and who know what Europe's responsibilities and competencies are, and those who know little about Europe, who are demagogues, who are populist in its negative sense, and who want to deceive the voters by the messages they are sending across. And that's why these elections, my friends, are an opportunity to clearly say no to the demagogues. We should unmask those myths that Europe is not good for our nations, that Europe is not good for our citizens. On the contrary, coming from the country that is the latest member of the European Union, I can assure you, as well as all the others who have joined in the last 15 years, Europe is good for our citizens, Europe is good for our nations, Europe is good for our economy, and Europe is good when it functions well and when it has the leadership of the European People's Party. And in order to do that well, we need a strong man. We need a leader at the helm of the European Commission, a leader who will defend our values, a leader who will provide solutions for the European future, because there are many challenges. And this leader, my friends, is the future President of the European Commission, Manfred Weber. Deshalb, liebe Freunde,
Dear friends, this is the reason why every single vote counts. Every vote in favor of CSU and CDU is a vote for the EPP, thus for a Europe of people, nations and states, because only together with a strong EPP will we be able to cope with the challenges ahead of us in the months and years ahead. Please go to the polls on Sunday. Please vote for a strong, united Europe based upon solidarity. This is what EPP and Manfred Weber stand for. Thank you very much for this invitation.